Hi, this is Phil Potempa, and welcome to another edition of OfNotoriety. Each week bringing you everything that is the talk about tickets. What's the hottest ticket in town? What do you want to make sure you mark on your calendar? And what's sure to not be missed? And, of course, we couldn't be here without the generosity of our underwriters, our friends at People's Bank, and a long history of supporters, including Legacy Foundation and the Indian Arts Commission, among others. And, of course, you, our viewers and listeners, those who are tuned into our traditional radio airways, we come to you from the Strachan Van Til studios here in Hammond, Indiana. Or perhaps some of you have found us not just on the radio dial, or you're looking at us when you have the added advantage of the cameras in the studio, and you're streaming us through YouTube, or you found us on some social media. We're just so glad that you're joining us today for our conversation. And of course, this show is also the broadcast equivalent of all the columns and feature stories you'll read in editions of the flagship Post-Tribune I write for, underneath the umbrella of Chicago Tribune Media, where you also will see stories that will appear maybe in the suburban ring of papers and also the main run edition. Most of all, we're so happy that we're here to be back for the holidays. I know I had a couple of weeks on hiatus. I think this is the first show back since right before Thanksgiving, when I took a bit of a break. We dedicate today's show in memory of my own father, Chester Potempa, who passed away December the 10th at the age of 96 at the farm. And his memory lives on, and he is certainly missed. But we'll move along also because that's what he would have loved. And he spent so much time at Theater at the Center, at the Performing Arts Center, and along those seats, along with my mom and the rest of the family members, enjoying the entertainment in the spotlight. That's our guest today, a returning guest. Last time he was here via Zoom, we have him right here front and center, along one of our armchairs. Robbie Howard, welcome back again.
Well, thank you.
And I'm joined by some guest hosts that are along for the ride as well. Luke Miiller, everybody is familiar with, as well as Tony Panek, a long time iconic voice at WJOB Jed TV. The last time we were here, I think it was via Zoom. So now we've got you here, and I think your background had maybe it was at the Cubby Bear or something that you had kind of just installed in the background. But we have you right here front and center. And for the past 2 weeks of the holidays, as our main stage performer for a Christmas show tribute to Sinatra and Friends. And this flyer will be flashed across the screen, in case you're hearing about it. It's 2 weeks, so the run goes all the way until this coming Sunday. So we want to stamp that today's broadcast is happening to you with an interviews on Tuesday, December the 16th, because you'll probably hear this again, or maybe again if you're finding it in your social media feed. You want to know when we've captured our interview. You have until Sunday the 21st for that final performance, and this has been a very, very popular show for us. Theater at the Center has done many main stage shows over the past 35 years, and of course White Christmas and others have also filled the seats. But for a one-man show, our Sinatra hats are off to you, Robbie, because you've gotten ovations every really performance with folks enjoying what you do. So I'm going to let you describe in your words, what exactly is a Christmas show tribute to Sinatra and Friends?
Well, it's kind of a combination of some of the shows that I put together. I kind of put together. I had a show on the Las Vegas Strip for 11 years that I did 50, 60 impersonations. We do it twice a day, and I kind of segue now. And in that show, I only did 3 minutes of Sinatra. Sure. I really didn't do a whole lot because you can't spend too much time on a certain character. So I was hired when my show was over, I was hired by a friend of mine who had the Rat Pack his back. His name's Sandy Hackett, who's the son of Buddy Hackett. So, and the only reason he put it together is because he wanted to play Joey Bishop. So he said, "Hey, can you do Frank?" And I went, "Yeah. I mean, I only know like 2 or 3 songs. I really didn't know that much." So I had to do some homework, and I started working on Sinatra. So I became Frank Sinatra in the show eventually, and I did it for like 1,000 performances, and. So what I've done now is taken Frank, and he's the host of the show, this Christmas show, and it's called Sinatra and Friends. So Frank he's the host. He introduces all these guys that I do, which is, Tom Jones and Randy Travis and Johnny Carson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
All which come to life through your vocals, your distinct artistic vocals, that you're a chameleon. You can slip in and out of these vocals, and it transports the audience. We don't need to even put on the screen or anything who the next person is, because it is so detailed, and you've captured every nuance. Luke and Tony are there for every single show. I'm floating in and out or so, but really it's a different show every single time, isn't it, Tony?
Yeah, and it's one of those shows you don't get tired of, right?
Yeah.
You're going to see it 15 times altogether, and you still enjoy coming to see it. And people are coming back, so that's a testament to you, Robbie.
Right.
And the impressions, I mean, just everyone is just dead on. It's just kind of freaky how you do that. But has there been one they were like, well, geez, I don't know if this is going to work, or this is taking too long to develop this character? What's been the trickiest voice you think so far?
I don't know. There have been voices that I've thought about doing, and I just can't find a vehicle for them. Sometimes I do. If I can, especially if it's a singing voice, I put it in that radio thing that I do. I do this radio thing where I go through the radio with a little squeal in between, and I'll throw voices in that you couldn't really do for an entire song because people would go, okay, I get it. So you just throw a little bit in there, and then they're amazed that you can do it, and then by that time you're to the next voice. And I try to go from like a low voice to a high voice to a low voice because it sounds a little bit better that way. So there's a little bit of thinking.
It's amazing.
That goes along.
Well, and we've spent some time together like off stages. I'm always picking your brain, and this is a question I guess I haven't asked. It builds on Tony's question. I would think it would be tough on the pipes if you had to try to do, like, I think it's called a falsetto. So kind of what you would have for Frankie Valli. Dude, is that one that you've ever tried to do? Or no, that is too taxing even for Frankie to do today.
The Bee Gees or something like that.
I do. You Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, which is not really one of his higher songs.
Sure.
It's a high song because he's a tenor. So yeah, I do that, and I do. I'll do Bee Gees stuff and do falsetto. But when you do falsetto, of course, you're usually with a group.
Yeah.
So when I'm with my band, we can do some Beach Boys things and Frankie Valli things.
That just means for the second half, because we're on to week 2 of this, depending when you're tuned in and listening. It just means get ready, Tony and Luke. He's hinting here that if you're going to do a Bee Gees segment, you better get your pipes warmed up, start drinking your hot tea and honey.
Gonna have to.
Luke, you've spent a lot of time on that stage, and I'll have the producer, Adrian, she's going to flash that photo of the whole stage landscape. That in itself is kind of a treat, Luke. Describe what the stage is like every day, where Robbie gets to call home what was been recreated for, as he says, kind of like an old-fashioned Christmas holiday special variety show. Oop, I don't know if that's on. That mic looks like it needs a little bit higher. Test now? We got you? Are you plugged in? That might be a question. See if that cord goes somewhere. And I should say, Luke has got on his Sinatra hat here because we have a Sinatra-themed Christmas tree out in the lobby. And so there we go. That's the question. We got to get you plugged in there. So we have a Sinatra-themed Christmas tree in the lobby, which is another advantage. We're talking about Theater at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts, 1040 Ridge Road, a Christmas show tribute to Sinatra and Friends. And we have the headliner right here with us today, Robbie Howard. It goes until Sunday the 21st. And for tickets, call the box office 219-836-3255. Or, of course, you can always just visit online at theater with the R-E, at thecenter.com and get your tickets. The added bonus, as we're about to talk about the stage, even in the lobby, the atrium lobby, and I've counted them, there's a total of 20 trees. Our Festival of the Trees, is the ladies' organization that supports our Northwest Indiana Symphony, sponsors this event with themed trees from different organizations, and they sprout up every December in our lobby and stay until about January the 2nd. The tree that Theater at the Center has done right by the box office is entirely trimmed in theme with Old Blue Eyes himself, including blue bulb ornaments. That's hard to say. You say that 3 times. And it has the one and only Robbie right there on the side, smiling with that famous fedora on this, in this case, red. On the back, it has the date and the year. These are collectibles for $5. It's just nice. Take a little something with you and remember. And Robbie's kind enough that he'll pose for photos after the show in the lobby. He'll sign them and send home a real true keepsake. All right, so, good. We got a nice close-up there of those shots as well for those of you that are tuning with our video aspect. Luke, give us a tour of what that vintage retro stage space looks like that is all decked out with holiday decor.
Oh, yeah, like the pictures Adriana's floating here. I mean, it's a pretty quaint and very Christmas spirity stage. We've got the live poinsettias. We've got the bar
Compliments
setup.
of?
Munster Florist, formerly Dixon's Florist.
Yes, very kindly. They have decked us out with a lot of live poinsettias all throughout. What else do we see there?
We also have the Grandma Green silver tree that's over there if you pan to the left, Adriana.
Yeah, there's one of those silver retro, and I believe that Karen Marvell was on. She had a small version of this. This is the true 6-footer from 1961. It should revolve around on a stand. The stand doesn't quite revolve quite as quickly anymore, but it does have the color wheel, and it's got all the red bulbs. Folks might be familiar with it. And in case Robbie gets thirsty,
Well, he's got a little bit of a drink back there. He's also got the bar, but he's also got a little bit of the decanter.
there's a full wet bar there, right, with all the barware, and so a couple bar stools there to belly up to the bar. If you there's a bit there that nobody's ever used. I like it. If you notice, Robbie, there are 3 stools. One of them is a short one in case somebody wants a short drink.
In case Sammy shows up.
Exactly. And we kind of have a theme going there with nutcrackers all throughout. And on the fireplace mantle, just to make it kind of warm and cheery, there are chestnuts tiered and real walnuts, and there's a walnut cracker, and there's a crackling fire there as well. It doesn't feel, and of course the red carpet. Got to have a red carpet for Robbie to welcome him. Has it kind of felt like your second home space now with that big red velvet? That is a heavy chair to move, by the way. That wrought iron chair.
Yeah, it's a scene out of Holiday Inn.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. And of course, there's a giant screen behind just to let folks remember that entire roster of who's who. Let's test Tony Panek's memory and give us a roster of some of the who's who. And if you say one that's wrong, Robbie's going to go, eh.
Oh, you're talking about for the...
We want to know the different folks that people are going to hear him impersonate if you come on stage. List some of them.
You'll hear Tom Jones. You'll hear Ray Charles. We mentioned the Frankie Valli right there. You'll hear Red Fox, which is kind of one of my favorites.
Of his favorites.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Fox one is just fantastic.
Who swivels his hips?
Elvis. You'll hear Elvis. Paul Anka. There's just so many. There's about, how many would you say?
Who's the Polish Prince?
Bobby Vinton.
Mr. Progi. Yeah,
Bobby
can't
Vinton.
forget
Dean
the
Martin.
Polish Prince.
Dean Martin. I mean, how many?
Willie, no, there's 40 in the show.
40. Willie Nelson. Julio. Which might be my, again, another favorite.
How
Julio
many did you say?
Iglesias.
How many are there?
40.
40. So a $40 ticket price, basically $1 a piece.
$1
For
voice.
look at all these headlining shows. If you went to Las Vegas where Tony's based, or excuse me, Robbie's based right along the strip, think of how pricey it would be to see many, and of course some of the headliners not even there with us anymore. So you've got to come out and see this show. You will not be disappointed.
Not at all. We got to take the owner here too.
That's right. If this gets a thumbs up from Jim Delo, he's right there down the road. He's got to come over and bring the missus and see this show while it runs until Sunday. Again, so many folks, as Tony mentioned, here's the testament, and Luke can attest in the box office. When folks come back and see it again and again, you know there's something there. It's got that word-of-mouth sale to it, and people are seeing a different show every time, right, Luke?
No, for sure, but the biggest compliment that we can receive is when people come back to the box office after the show or a couple days after and said, yeah, I'm going to bring my husband along this time. I'm going to bring my other friends along, and they come back and see the show. Because
now, when folks say that, when we're saying that's the return of Robbie, that's because Robbie was here once before, did a similar type of a theme, and this one was all built around the Tonight Show, right, Robbie?
Right.
And so you really have a spot on Johnny Carson, which made sense in that. And the Theater Center, for any folks who might have saw this, we tried to replicate as best we could as the NBC Tonight Show stage with that familiar desk, the couch, some of the decor that would be on the desk, and primarily it was just Robbie welcoming guest after guest and interacting with yourself, right?
Right, exactly. I was the guest and the star, right.
And that was that not this past summer, the summer before? Guys?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh, the time goes so quick. And I got to say, Robbie Howard is a good sport to be here in Northwest Indiana. We're used to Las Vegas, and we have temperatures that are -10. And I saw a video on social media of you outside your hotel without a coat on. I'm thinking, did you even bring a really kind of true winter coat, or you don't have any?
I do. No, I brought a coat, but my experience with the cold weather is walking from the hotel door to Tony's car, and from Tony's car inside the theater. So I can make it 6 or 8 feet.
That's true.
And didn't you say that was the coldest? This has been the coldest you ever felt.
Oh yeah, this is definitely.
He's never been in a climate like this before.
Never,
really,
never single digits ever.
Yeah, and this is unusual. As all our folks here in the region will nod in agreement. We don't usually get this cold this quick, so it's a little bit of a jolt for us. But wow, we certainly have gotten a head start on winter, which doesn't even begin until the 22nd. And if you're hearing this broadcast, it's being captured today on Tuesday, December the 16th. A Christmas show tribute to Sinatra and Friends, starring headliner Robbie Howard, direct from Las Vegas at Theater at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts, 1040 Ridge Road. One of the favorite aspects about this, when I say it's one-stop shopping, it means that you are able to visit the lobby. As I mentioned, the Festival of the Trees. There's always the art gallery, which is open, which has now been created kind of into, I want to say, a bit of kind of like a Kindle market with all types of artists and crafts and food and things for sale. You just sort of kind of browse that. Of course, our popular South Shore Arts gift shop. And I haven't had this yet, but I'm looking forward to it. These three gentlemen can attest to it. Our friends at 1040 Ridge Road, the catering aspect of the building of the Center for Visual and Performing Arts, they have done a themed Sinatra lunch that goes with the show. And there's a couple opportunities for that. Describe that menu. Do you got it memorized, Luke?
I sure do. Chicken and rice soup, chicken Milanese, with arugula salad, linguine pomodoro, and then finished off with the lemon cheesecake.
How about that? He didn't even look at the list.
And that's the order he eats it.
Yes, I betcha. And I know there's one of those, depending on when you're hearing this broadcast, I know for Wednesday afternoon matinee, there's one that precedes it as well. That themed one will also be on the final finale show on Sunday, the 21st. You can call directly for those dinner reservations or for all your booking reservation, holiday party needs, weddings, events, special occasions. We'd love to share those memories with you at the Center for Visual and Performing Arts. The 1040 Ridge Road Catering office is 219-836-1930. We'll get you right to their office, then hit extension 2. Any of the folks that the event planners can take your reservation and help you out. The box office for the tickets portion, right upstairs, 219-836-3255. We'll get you your tickets for a Christmas show tribute to Sinatra and Friends on Sunday. If Loretta the Usher's true, and we counted, there's 410 seats. She counted about 6 empty seats there, Robbie. But the way you play that show, there's not a bad seat in the house because you're playing it out on that extended drum.
Right.
So you're right there immersed with the audience, right?
Yeah, I get a little road work in, going from side to side, but I try to fill it up.
Absolutely. So no matter where your tickets are, you will not be disappointed. I mentioned there's a screen that's kind of recessed back. It simply has the branding and just the reminder of the name of the show, so it's not like you're going to miss any types of clips there. But most of all, in this hectic time with so much going on and swirling in this world around us that seems to sometimes just sort of be splintered, and you want to escape from the headlines, theirs is a chance to come for, basically right under 2 hours, includes an intermission. You will be not disappointed. It really flies by with more than 40 impersonations of your favorite headliners from past and present, all presented through the wonderful Robbie Howard with a Christmas show tribute to Frank Sinatra and Friends. Speaking of Friends, just a stone's throw down the road, I can't believe we have Christmas week coming up next week. After that, it'll be New Year's. People will be planning for it. Another of your friends is going to come back and spend some time, right? For New Year's Eve?
Ah, yes.
She's quite a gal, isn't she? The one and only Sharon
Owens.
Owens.
Yes.
Although people will think of her when she steps on stage as the one and only
Barbara Streisand.
Yeah. Babs. She'll bring it back, and she'll be paired with Steve Leeds. Steve Leeds doing his Tony Bennett. Both of them have been at Theater at the Center before. Both of them have sold out. Here's your chance for New Year's Eve as well to spend it at Theater at the Center, close to home. I don't even know what the weather outlook is going to be, but you never know how it can turn. If you want to be close by with free parking, 2 performance opportunities, correct, Luke?
Yep.
Early show.
4 o'clock, and then the elegant 7-course dinner at 6 o'clock, and then you have the 8 o'clock show as well.
Which is also an
Might
early
have to
show.
stick around, Robbie.
That's happening.
You know our audiences, right, Tony?
Yeah.
They want early or earlier.
Yeah,
So no
I'm
matter
at that
what,
point, too.
you're going to be, not you. You've got to still
Well,
be
me out
another
there.
commitment at
I
midnight
got
under
it.
another identity
I'll
of Mr.
make it.
Progerty in Whiting. But for us, there's the earlier afternoon, late afternoon performance. And as Luke mentioned, sandwiched in between is a wonderful multi-course feast for New Year's Eve for $75. Includes a toasting glass of champagne to wash it all down. And then you can pick either the earlier show, have the dinner, or come to dinner, and then do the later show, which is an 8 o'clock show. Still promises you to be out by 10 o'clock. You can be home and see the ball drop in New York City for East Coast. Stay up later and have our own New Year here at midnight, but be at home safe if you so choose. So we'd love to have you. Tickets are going pretty quick, though, Luke, aren't they?
Yes, they're starting to sell, especially since we have so many bodies for the Sinatra tons of people buying for New Year's.
I've not asked this yet, but Robbie, where are you going to spend your New Year's? Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be in the beautiful city of Laughlin, Nevada.
And taking the night off, or no?
No, I'll be working. I'll be at the Golden Nugget down there.
Very good. So you're hearing all these major marquees that we've talked about from throughout Nevada and the Strip. The Golden Nugget, of course, is one that's a brand that's been around for so long, and that's where you're going to be. That's a true classic to spend New Year's Eve. And have you played the Room before? I'm guessing, right?
Not there. No, I haven't. But I played just about everywhere else. I don't think I've had a normal New Year's Eve where I go out and have fun. But I mean, I have fun doing what I do.
Yeah.
So, usually I bring my wife with me, and, at midnight I go, hey, guys, I'm taking a break here. I got to go say hello. And I did it on a cruise ship for actually the first time just a few years ago. So that was kind of a vacation.
Sure. And it's amazing. He talks some about this during the show, but when Robbie's working, he does cruises. I mean, it can be the shorter ones, but some of them are these worldwide, global cruises, right? And
all around the world. You
kind of preface it and said, "Hey, I'm not there for the whole stint.
Right.
I do about 10 days, and then they bounce me off there and get somebody else on there."
Right. Right. Yeah. I've been all over the world on those, and it's just a blast. The last time I went was Egypt and Israel, and it was an African tour. I wouldn't want to go down there now. A little bit too much fighting and things like that.
Sure.
But it's wonderful to travel around and get paid for it.
Are you ever, and then I'll let Tony and Luke jump in here as we finish up our final several minutes here. You're such a long-time veteran entertainer. Do you ever get thrown by something you see in the audience, or even they come back with a snappy, quick comeback, and you're not prepared, or you've seen it, heard it all, or sometimes you even get a curveball?
I have not, and I've never been thrown. I've never been thrown because there's just certain skills you use where even if you don't have something to say, sometimes it's better not to say it, and you get a bigger laugh. or I will say, "Can you repeat that, please?" Or something. So you just bounce it off of somebody else. So no, nothing throws me, but I have heard some pretty funny things.
You're great with the improv. I mean, just because it's a lot of crowd work in these shows.
It is.
So you're interacting with the crowd, and you're just so quick-witted with their answers. So it's like you said, Phil, a different show every time, just because the crowd alone is a different crowd every time.
And the whole there is one bit that I can't really say here because then they kind of blows the surprise. But I get three guys from the audience to do a certain thing, and it's different every time, isn't it? It's different, but it's just funny every time. It just never fails.
Yeah, I love that part. Yeah, well, the little hint that comes in the second act. So you want to make sure that you're there. And again, what a great opportunity, as I mentioned, to come out to Theater the Center for Visual and Performing Arts, lift a glass of. Gosh, there's some really wonderful specialty cocktails, right? There's an eggnog brandy Alexander.
Rum punch.
A rum punch. There's the sparkling poinsettia.
Yeah, we've had a lot of quality control.
Champagne with a splash of cranberry, just for a little bit of color. Lift a glass. Give yourself a break in between all of the holiday cards, Christmas shopping. A lot of this now is a kind of a click of a mouse. We'll give your finger a bit of a break from clicking mouses and doing your shopping and sending your emails and things, if that's the way you do it in the year 2025. And come out and enjoy a Christmas show tribute, Sinatra and Friends. You will not be disappointed. And I say if you can arrange it, do one of the paired dinner shows for such a great price, $30 to have a multi-course meal underneath those sparkling chandeliers in our ballroom for the whole effect. And then you just stroll right across that warm, toasty lobby, see all the Christmas trees, come inside and see another lavish stage decor right before you, and sit back, relax, and enjoy a show that is really a welcome escape from the everyday, I say, and it gets everybody in the holiday mood. We're so lucky to spend these 2 weeks. And guys, haven't we been saying this like all summer? We can't wait for Robbie to come and have him for a couple of weeks. He's going to be so much fun to have, and you certainly have been.
And laid back too. I mean, I'm not going to dismiss anybody else, but you're very fun to work with. So.
Well, thanks. It's amazing that there are people that are bringing their kids, and even their kids like it. They don't even know who Frank Sinatra is or the characters. Yeah. But they laugh, and they always tell me at the end that what a great time we had laughing, and just felt good to laugh.
So often, with my columns, the same thing. If I mention a name from yesteryear, I think, well, if nothing else, maybe inspire somebody to Google, look it up on Wikipedia, or I guess nowadays let AI explain and introduce you to somebody who is an icon or a legend that is a name that should always be remembered. And there are so many of them, and we all have our Christmas memories. There's not a lot of those holiday Christmas specials on TV as much. I think there was maybe a couple of them, but Robbie and I know. I don't think Luke and Tony will remember, but each year Bob Hope would have one. For years, this is before my time, but Bing Crosby and his family would do one.
Right.
For a while, Loretta Lynn and some of the country stars would do, a Christmas concert salute. Barbara Mandrell, Perry Como, of course, Andy Williams, all of those were the headliners. And again, the same Vegas crowd as well. It just translates so wonderful. The Osmonds, how can I forget the Osmonds and their Christmas special? That's what's brought to life on the Theater of the Center stage. Imagine Frank Sinatra and 40 of his closest famous friends all right there front and center in the spotlight. That's what you get courtesy of the wonderful entertainer Robbie Howard, direct from Las Vegas. Anything else we want to add, gents?
No, come see the show. Again, take a break from all the stuff going on in life and just have yourself a good time for a couple hours.
And Luke will be testing the eggnog.
That's
I
right.
still haven't exactly gotten it,
Yes.
so I got to keep testing.
They might have told you, but a little bit envious. I hear the other night, and I had other family commitments given the current chain of events, but you got to slip away to Freddy's Steakhouse, which is just a stone's throw from here. Old school steakhouse, a booze where you can kind of hide away and get a thick cut bit of a prime rib or whatever the carnivore selection of your choice is, and all the sides and full bar as well, right?
It was great.
Kind of old school.
So classic.
I'm glad you made it out there. There's so many great places here in the region, and we maybe have to get you out to a few more in between, but there's a lot of days you've got 2 shows a day, so it goes quick, and
it does.
We're hoping again that we get you back here real soon as well. And then don't forget, one of his best friends in real life and in stage fantasy life, Sharon Owens as Barbara Streisand, which he does a show. You do a Frank and Bab show as well,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to give away too much of a crystal ball, but that could be something that seems like it would be a nice fit in the future as well. So stay tuned, everybody. Thanks so much, Robbie, for being a part of our conversation.
Thank you for
Once
having
again,
me.
the guest host, Luke, and to Tony, you have something else to add in
I
there?
just wanted to push the website and phone number again
Go
to
ahead.
purchase tickets.
Sure.
Phone number 219-836-3255 extension 1, and then theateratthecenter.com, and theater is spelled with a R-E at the end. You can purchase tickets there. Still have available.
Absolutely. Get them right now while you can, because, again, the second half of this run has been just as popular as the first half. And I mark your words, you will not be disappointed. The feedback on social media and in person at the box office is a testament to the talent that is Robbie Howard. I'm Phil Potempa, your host. It feels good to be back in the seat after a hiatus of a few weeks, and happy to spend the final couple weeks of this year that has gone so fast of 2025 with you. And this has been going on now the 9th year of hosting this show of Notoriety, and I'm so pleased to be a part of the conversation. To make sure you're up on all the latest tickets and opportunities to mark on the calendar. We'll be back again next week. No matter when you're hearing this show, we hope you enjoy wherever your path takes you for the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening.